Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this Facebook Live. I'm just going to have a quick talk to you about one or two questions that were raised about really having the perfect partner or finding the perfect partner, which is seems to be a very, very difficult task. It seems to be something that most people don't achieve or don't think they can achieve. Or is it achievable? Well, when we think about what we want out of a relationship, then of course we all have different preferences. And yes, that's a good thing. If you're chasing perfection, then you're going to be very disappointed and ultimately probably lonely. And when we think about what perfect is today, it's shaped by clever advertising and fantasy, and we've been holding on to that since we first stuck our take that posters on the wall or whatever it is that we were into at that time. And all of those teen crush experiences, they help to shape in our mind what our idea of perfection is. And there is no perfection. It's just what you perceive to be perfect for you. So there's a difference in that. And that will change as you change. So what was perfect for you, or what you perceive to be perfect for you at the age of 20, probably will not be perfect for you today, unless you haven't matured emotionally since then and you've stayed as a 20-year-old. So let's think about this by changing the word perfect to important. What is important for you today, and what matters to you right now when it comes to your relationship as it is, or finding a relationship? The most influential thing which helps you find the right relationship, without a doubt, is you. So think about the experiences that you've had in a relationship. Think about what has worked, what hasn't worked, what you want, what you need. Think about love and loss and all of those unhealthy patterns that you've developed over these relationships, and write them down. Put a critique of all that's good and bad about your relationships. And when you've written all of that down, ask yourself, what is important for you today? Does the person you have, or the person you are looking for, are they going to have those important factors that you need for yourself? And I'm not talking about the little things. I mean the big ones, the deal makers or breakers. Write them down. Let yourself know what they are. These are the things that you are not willing to negotiate with anybody at all. These are things that you've learned from past experiences that don't work for you in a relationship. So it's really important that you know what they are. And if you feel that someone may have these qualities that are important to you, it's your job to find those qualities that they exist within that person. Now, if the big things aren't important to you and you're the kind of, or the type of person who puts up with a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, then you need to get out of that relationship as soon as you can before you waste too much time, because you'll invest a lot into that relationship that's wasted time and happiness. Now, if you're prepared to put up with that and that's what you settle for, then stop whining about it and get on with it. It's as simple as that. So what I'm getting at here is, if you want to find a happy relationship, then you need to do the work on yourself first. Get yourself programmed to be looking for the relationship that will work for you. Now, if you don't know how you work, then you don't know what you're looking for. In looking for a relationship, you should accept that we're all flawed. None of us are perfect. But if you have the potential to make the important things work, then you have every chance of growing together and creating a meaningful life together. Now, if you only focus on what is lacking in a relationship, then that's what will grow. What you focus on will grow. Focus on the negatives, you'll find more negatives in your life. So fine-tuning your relationship engine means to accept somebody's imperfections. It doesn't mean to say that you can't express what bothers you, assuming you're not referring to things like physical appearance or things that they can't control. It means you accept them as they are, not as they could be. It means you understand their story. It means you see them as a whole, complete person, not someone you can mold into your idea of what they should be. So you can say, well, how do you do that? Accept them for who they are. Assuming that you have the deal breakers in place and you think that that person has not got those faults that will break that relationship, learn to accept the lesser faults, not that you shouldn't negotiate to improve on them, but don't focus on them. As you should also negotiate to improve your faults as well. One of the things that um, people do in a relationship, and particularly females, is fatally they compare who you are or who you are looking for in their ex-partners. Never ever compare ex-partners to yourself. If you do that, you're going to live in the past, you're going to fall into a pit, and you will never get out of that. Let the past partners be, take the experiences, learn from those experiences, but don't procrastinate or focus on the people that have gone. That will never get you anywhere, and never compare those people to yourself or to any new partners or the partner that you're with. So think about what you're saying and thinking, and try to identify why you are thinking and saying these things. Question yourself before you question your partner. Remind yourself of all the relationships that didn't work and why. Take the lessons of the past and turn them into the positives that you want for the future. If you don't do that, you're likely to drift into relationships that were very, very similar to the last ones that actually didn't work, which is why you're in a new relationship. And you're very likely going to repeat those habits and behaviors to create another relationship that hasn't failed. And lots of people will say, well, it wasn't my fault. But what I'm saying to you is if you focus on your growth first and your understanding of what you specifically want, so you know the factors that create a good relationship for you, and that's what you aim for, then there's every chance that that is what you will get. So the other half of the coin is the execution of that. So you've decided to seek the perfect partner instead of for your life, and instead of the partner that's not going to work for you. So what you would need to do now is ask yourself what that relationship would look like every day in action. How do you need to think? What fears have you got to conquer to push through that relationship? What new way must you see your partner? And what do you need to change about yourself to see him or her in that way? So remember, first of all, it's all about yourself. Get yourself right. Focus on what you know you need and focus on looking for that in a partner. Once you've done that, you can get together with somebody with those foundational pieces in place. You can work on the bits and pieces later to help the relationship grow and improve. If you don't get those initial foundation things, those deal breakers in place, and know clearly what you want, then chances are you're going to end up with a similar relationship to a past one, or something that isn't going to work for you. So there you go. So I hope that helps you. Not really too long there or too much in it, but if you think about the principles of what I've said, there's an awful lot of work there if you want to get your life right. So start thinking about thinking and thinking about what you do want and how are you going to put yourself in that place to even make the relationship better that you've got, or B, find the right relationship for you. It is very achievable. You've just got to focus on it and get yourself in that right place. So I hope that's helped. I hope you found that useful. Give me some comments. If you've got any questions, drop them in the Facebook for me. I'm always happy to answer questions. I get a lot of questions coming in recently, which is fab, because I do love to answer them. And it also gives me content for what we could talk about in the next video. So I will look forward to seeing you then. So goodbye for now.